Studio 6B on a Friday night live from the America First Warehouse. Glad you're in, everybody. Real America's voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. The gang is all here. When I say all here, I mean it. Paul Nolan's here. He's going to do some news. Kevin Downey Jr. in the house. Rick Delgado, Vinnie Mac. And Slick's going to have sports. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always on a Pizza Friday. Well, tonight was more Burger Friday here at the America First Warehouse. Yes. Oh, man, they were good, huh?
They were tasty.
Thank goodness for Joe the Burger.
Yeah, Joe the Burger delivered the burgers tonight. Harry on the highway, on the floor as well. Everybody at the America First Warehouse, Martin and the crew, and Joe the Box. Everybody is so wonderful all the time. We want to thank them for welcoming us into their house here on every Friday night.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to having you, the live from Studio 6B audience here. May 2nd, of course, a week from tonight.
Oof.
Oh, man. Ooh. We are looking forward to that. Mr. Nolan, how are you?
I'm good, man. I like this place.
That's nothing not to
joint.
like. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I like it here.
I like it here.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very
not
impressive.
a bad joint there, Paulie.
It's terrific.
It's terrific.
It's really terrific.
Kevin Downey Jr. is here, and of course, he has got a big fundraiser coming up tomorrow down in somewhere in Pennsylvania that I'm not going to remember the name, so I'm not even going to try to say it. But Kevin will tell you where it is. KDJ,
how about that for a plug?
Thank you, Big D. I'm going to be in Muncie Valley, Pennsylvania. It's exactly where you think it is.
Exactly.
It's in the middle of nowhere. No one's heard of it. No one's heard of it. But it's a fundraiser for the local volunteer firefighters. It's going to be huge. If you're anywhere near Muncie Valley, PA, come on by.
Do I need a passport, or I can get right in there?
You need a smart license or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you need real ID for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Rick Delgado's got the news tonight. Mr. Delgado, how was your day?
My day was awesome. Holy moly.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
As usual, stuff is always happening. So it's always a good day when stuff is happening, especially when it's a nice day.
Boy, it was a beautiful day here in New York.
Gorgeous day in New York.
It was a nice day.
So anytime it's nice, I had a good day.
I hear you. Vinnie Mac is here. Vinnie Mac, his hairpiece looking good tonight as the intro that you guys don't see. Unless you're here in the house, you will see it.
Yep.
He's back from, where'd you go, a week to Florida?
Yeah, I was in Florida, and just as I landed, I heard there was Tesla protests.
Yeah.
So I changed my rent-a-car. I got a Tesla.
Okay.
I drove by the protests, and I don't believe I've ever been given the bird so many times by a group of people. They literally gave me the
that
finger.
weren't ex-girlfriends?
Hundreds. Yeah, relatives or ex-girlfriends. It was very empowering. I felt pretty good. I felt like a real rebel in a Tesla.
Down in Florida, this is, huh?
Down in Florida. You would not think.
Of course, you go to the liberal places in Florida, where were you?
Yeah.
Sarasota.
I was in Sarasota, and they've been getting a lot of protests. I don't know what's happening there. There's a huge Tesla dealership there, and they've been getting big protests. And I always infiltrate the protests. It's like my little mini Facebook group, so I go after them when I'm there.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on there. And before let me first welcome Slick, then we'll get back to that, because I actually have some thoughts on what's going on there, and it's a big red warning flag to Republicans all over. Because if it can happen in Florida with what's going on there, it can happen anywhere. But Slickster, how are you?
All right, Big D.
What's going on?
What's going on? Well, I was here for unhappy hour at 5 o'clock, so that was but other than that, I
resemble that remark.
Yeah, you certainly do.
Whatever.
Come on, Big D.
Whoa. Actually, before Vin said that, it made me think of what's going on in Florida. I was going to lead tonight with sports.
Yeah, the draft.
But that's
because the draft's going on, and
in progress.
Mel Kiper is not the voice in the room right now, believe it or not, because it's President Donald Trump.
It certainly is. That's it. He waited on the old Shador pick, or lack thereof.
Trump says stupid, quote unquote, NFL owners passing on Shador Sanders.
Incredible.
And Paul or Slick or anybody else who is into the sports thing here, what is the relationship between the president? Is it because he has a relationship with Neon Dion?
I think he just respects Dion from years past. He said his father was a great player, a century legendary player. And I just think that's Trump is realizing that they are crazy. But there's other things going on, I believe, under the scenes there with this young man.
Yeah, I mean, did anyone think he was going to get taken in the first round? I mean, I maybe thought it could be late 20s.
They thought top 5 at one point.
Yeah, they were talking top 5, top 10.
Cleveland Browns, maybe,
Yeah, you just wonder what's going on there. You wonder if it's that NIL money getting to his head. He bought that Lamborghini.
That $10 million.
I don't think 21-year-olds should be buying Lamborghinis. It's not a good look, not attractive to an owner who wants to, keep a young guy in line. And then you got to deal with the dad. We were talking about it's like It's like coaching Little League. Why isn't my
Yes.
kid getting a passing? Why is he not passing enough? Stop handing it off.
Dion will have a podcast every day recapping his son's performance from Sunday. I mean, who
Did you
wants
see-
that, right?
Did you see the party he just set up with the tent and the DJ?
Yeah.
A little indulgent. A little
Oh,
indulgent.
It looked like
that's-
sports meets Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Like they were going to have a Tiffany
Thinking
party
he was
there.
going like first, I think.
Yeah.
When they pay college athletes, though, this is what you
Yeah.
get, right? You're getting folks making $10 million in
Yep.
college,
Yeah.
getting drafted and having an attitude, and it went to this guy's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Totally.
So Trump says, what is wrong with NFL owners? Are they stupid, he said? Deion Sanders was a great college football player and was even greater in the NFL. He's also a very good coach, streetwise and smart. Therefore, Shador, his quarterback's son, has phenomenal genes and is all set for greatness. He should be picked immediately by a team that wants to win. Good luck, Shador, and say hello to your wonderful father.
I don't know if you know this. He followed up by saying, and then someone should draft Barron next.
yeah.
That might happen.
Well,
one day.
remember, Trump does have a background in football, USFL.
Yep.
His quarterback was who?
Doug Flutie.
Oh, Flutie, yeah.
Jim Kelly, too.
Well, Jim Kelly, too. Yeah, but Flutie was his
Kelly.
bigger player. Then Herschel Walker, of course, the great, the
Herschel
Generals.
Walker, yeah.
The New Jersey
Where
Generals.
was Steve Young?
I thought I had that. I'll take Flutie for 500, please.
Did you see Jamal Bowman? Jamal Bowman said it's racist that they didn't pick him. It's racist because there aren't any black guys in the NFL that I've ever seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
44 picks in, still no pick for Shador. 44
Really?
picks in now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I mean, again,
Colts are on the clock.
depends on what offense you're trying to put him in. And I guess people who watch them, maybe they don't think he can pick up the, to run that West Coast offense, you got to be able to be quick on your feet. You got to pick up information quickly, and you got to get the ball out of your hands quickly. So if he doesn't meet any one of those three, that's why he's dropping.
Yeah, he's got the football IQ, and he's got toughness. He took a beating in Colorado, but I think it's the baggage.
It's definitely the baggage. He's got more baggage than JFK on Thanksgiving Eve. I mean, there's no question about it. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
Trump weighed in, so there you go. Live from Studio 6B, glad you're in on a Friday night. Lots of news to get to as well. But Vinnie Mac, what you said about Florida, and I think there's a warning here for Republicans in Florida, because if you look at what's happened in Florida, obviously with DeSantis being there now termed out, he'll leave. But obviously he's been the bar for red state governors, making red states as red as these blue state governors can make blue states blue. And but what you're seeing there is a takeover by rhino Republicans in the state legislature. We saw it with Perez. We saw it with the when they were trying to take immigration away from the governor and give it to the agricultural commissioner. Remember that a couple months ago?
Yeah,
we saw
exactly.
that. So when you start to see weakness in your legislature pushing back against the governor, this is what happens. The Democrats see an opportunity. They start circling the wagons, which is what they do better than we'll ever do it on our side. And this is what you start to see. And you're seeing a lot of it in Florida. You're seeing pushback to budgets. You're seeing pushback to immigration. You're seeing pushback to a lot of things where this was a dead party in the state for the last 6 years.
You're seeing pushback in the streets, though, too. So I've seen a few protests, in the few months that I've been going back and forth. And there's a lot of MAGA, a lot of Republicans, countering the protests. Across the street, a lot of them. You don't see that in a lot of places where they, are orchestrating these protests and bringing in all their paid people and doing all that stuff. I'm seeing a lot of people, fighting it and arguing it. And I'm not going to say I'm one of them, but I had a giant poster and a big banner that was holding it like this. But I mean, I like seeing that because I feel like sometimes people are just intimidated to speak out at any of these, and they just kind of walk by. But not what I'm seeing in Florida, though.
Yeah,
all the things you said is true, though.
Which is good because, you have to have that pushback. You can't let the bullies, the weak bullies, push everybody around and think, well, they can get away with whatever they want. As a matter of fact, you had Florida Senate Minority Leader just today, I think, or it was last night, Jason Pizzo. He has left the Democratic Party because he calls it a dead party in the state. So you might see the wackos, who are getting paid to show up and protest, and they'll make a little bit of noise and get a little bit of ink. But I think the majority of the people are stepping away, saying no. Even the moderate ones, are stepping away. And you want to see what he had to say about what they're doing in Florida, because he just kind of throws his hands up and kind of says, this is a
good clip.
It's a sickness. It's a sickness. Here's cut 13. Here is that Senate Minority Leader announcing his leaving the Democratic Party in Florida. 13.
Whom I'm finding may not want it. There'll be a caucus meeting later this afternoon where I hope that the members of the Democratic caucus will elect a new leader. For today, I FedExed my voter registration form to change my party affiliation to no party affiliation. Joe Scott should receive that by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning in Broward County. And here's why. Our constituents are craving practical leaders, not political hacks. We are entrusted to be guided by our conscience, and while I suppose it's easier in theory than it is in application, even my worst detractors have no valid claim that I can be bullied, that I can be bought, or even borrowed for a special interest. I am my father's son, even in his death. I am my mother's son while she is still alive. I will not miss another one of her birthdays, and I will return to who I was when I became a young man, independent in thought, in my passion, and my conscience, not consultants.
Yeah. So there you have it.
They used to be intelligent, the Democratic Party.
Right.
They used to have intelligence. When Bill Clinton was president, a couple of good things you could say about Bill Clinton is his first term, he was a liberal. His second term, he realized, I got to govern in the middle, and he learned. And you don't see any Democrat learning from this whole process.
No.
The last election,
Nope.
any of the stuff happening, you just see more fringe and more fringe. I bet you're going to see more people like this dropping out, publicly stating that, because it's an embarrassment.
Well, the most important thing for us, of course, as I've always said, for as long as we've done this show, is the primaries. We need more primary voters in all states.
Yeah.
But you have to be worried about the legislature. And you may have guys like this, but like in Florida, even today, you have a bill passage on insurance rates that raises insurance rates on all Floridians. And how does it get across the finish line? It gets across the finish line because 22 Dems joined with 58 Republicans who voted with them.
Yep.
If the Republicans don't vote, you don't get across the finish line. We have a supermajority in Florida. So how is that supermajority working out if we're passing bills like this? It's like what we see up here on the federal side. What's happening? You're getting Democrats that are pushing these bills across the finish line for budgets, and we can't get must-pass bills through with the Republicans. It's the same thing that started to happen there, and if it's starting to happen there, it can happen anywhere.
It's money. It's money. Those people are being paid off. They know where they're getting greased, and they're like, this suits me. There's something in there for me. I get to line my pocket. Good, I'm in. They don't have party affiliation. They have their affiliation.
Without a doubt.
The uniparty affiliation. So I think that's just me, though.
They're greedy junkies.
Yep.
All right, a Friday night at the America First Warehouse, just getting started. A lot of news to do with all the boys. Sports with Slick coming up. We may even talk to some people here in the house tonight at America's First Warehouse on a Friday night. We're back right after this.
Yeah.
Then you got a whole lot more space to move your.
I like that music, by the
I
way.
sent you a clip
Yeah,
of
definitely.
one of the protesters.
Was
in
that River
Florida.
Dance?
Where
What?
do you think?
Yeah, Mike.
You hear that music? Sounded like the River
Twitter
Dance
to
thing.
your phone.
Yeah, Damon's gonna do that
I
in a
just
second.
figured you'd see it there. If you find it interesting.
Damon will do
to see a
River Dance?
drugged-out
That would be
guy,
entertaining.
That would be
paid
something.
protester, it would have been a good laugh during that conversation.
Remind me of the old Henrietta Hippo
I mean, is it
cartoons.
still worth it?
I don't know. You want to come back to it and say, look, here's one of the active protesters.
Hello.
It's hysterical if you see it. It's just like
Did you hear the sound? That was a clean.
All right.
there's
We're in the
no,
chat, right?
There's no cursing.
Chat.
Chat,
All right, I'll play it now. In fact,
Oh, Drag
I saw
Blacker.
earlier
In
that-
the YouTube chat, guys, $10 from Drag Blacker.
Oh,
Why
thank
does
you. I'll tell
Vinny
you right
expect
now,
Democrats to moderate? That's like asking a religious person on the right to moderate.
Oh, no, it's not
Well,
Florida.
this
I'm
is a
sorry. There was
religion,
other
and the
ones.
left is more religiously devout than conservatives are.
That's very
All
true.
you got to do is play like a
It's
minute,
very
like
true.
30 seconds.
Drag
of it.
Blacker, that's a good one right there.
They're
Thank you
dug in.
Thank
They
you for
dig
the
in
10
better than
It's
the
spots.
just funny.
Republicans
There's no
do.
cursing, though.
Give Drag Blacker a like for that. Thank you, sir. Drag Black is a great viewer there on YouTube. Broke Spoke in the chat. What's up, my man? Broke Spoke. Rick, anybody in the Rumbler or anywhere?
Oh, tons of rumblers. Marty Kin, Ratchet, John D, 6307, USA United We Stand, Lynn Sins is in there, Bill of Rights, 1776, Astro Tech 2, as opposed to Astro Tech 1.
May not be for this coming back.
Hey, Fred, you got my computer? I didn't check that before we went live.
I got to jump over to the Twixters, say hello there.
This comes from Greta Garbo. Vinny, your right leg looks like an artificial leg from the camera long shot.
Oh, yeah, it's part of my mannequin line. I brought that leg with me. It's very, very nice. Thank you for checking that out.
Vinny Mac Mannequin Mac.
Limbs are us.
Yeah, it's a mannequin model, which worked out for me
where'd
very
you
well.
find Greta?
I think we're going out on a limb with this live show, actually.
Facebook.
Hey, Big D.
Thank you.
We're going out on a limb with this. We're going out on a limb with this live show here.
Yeah.
Speaking of limbs.
Greta's always pointing out stuff. Last time it was my shoe or my pant leg was off.
Well, that's what you
Good
get
job.
from a
Good
long time.
eyes.
A
Yeah,
long
you
time
need
follower, Vin. That's what you get.
That's right.
You need longer socks.
I do.
Look like you're still in Florida.
Yeah, well, I like to keep the mental approach to Florida as much as I can.
I don't blame you.
You are a mental approach.
Thank you. It's pretty much my...
Ba-ba-da-da. All right, live from Studio 6P at the American First Warehouse on a Friday night. Wow. Glad you're in.
They owe me money. All of them. They owe me money.
Vinny Max here is going to do some news. Paul Nolan's got news. KDJ, Rick Delgado in the house. Slick's going to do sports. Harry on the highway, making sure that everything is running smooth on the floor. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Before we get to sports, Paul sent me this clip. It's pretty funny. If you want to see the level of protest that's going on, like Vinny, I don't know if Vinny saw this exact protest in Florida, but I have to say the resistance here looks pretty strong, Vin.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It looks pretty strong. It looks pretty well thought through. Check this out. This is one of the protesters right here.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's on the trank.
What do you think he's getting paid?
Can I have a Sominex
He already,
for five?
he already,
Yeah, he
he
spent
already
it.
snorted it all.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's already taken.
Yeah.
Hello.
Somebody's got to give him enough money to buy the antidote.
That's heroin. That's heroin right there. I've seen him. I used to live in the city. That's
There you go.
heroin.
Or he's looking for a Dunkin' Donuts.
Experienced day. Threatening me.
At least he has a sign, though. He hasn't dropped his sign.
At least they glued it to his fingertips.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Crazy glue.
You know, when you see them like that,
La resistance.
that's that stuff called trank. It's like a tranquilizer, and people just end up being zombies.
Yeah, you see that on the roads in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was going to say, go to
Exactly.
Philly, you can see blocks of it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
All right, 20 minutes past the hour, live
Why do
from
I know
Studio
that?
6B. Let's do some sport.
Why do you know that?
Yeah, why do you know that?
Wake up,
Some
Rick.
Sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you're shopping at MyPillow for Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, whatever it is. It's always good to shop at MyPillow. Use promo code LFS6B at checkout. It'll give you a great savings. Slick's got sports. They sponsor it. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D, let's get to the scoreboard right away, right up the top here. Capitals and Canadians, NHL playoffs, East first round, game 3. Washington up 2-0, looking to take a commanding 3-0 lead there. And they're right now tied with the Canadians up in Montreal, 14 to go there in the second. About 5 minutes into the first, no score. Devils and Hurricanes. Devils in a must-win situation here. They're down 2-0 there versus Carolina. Kings and Oilers, that's a 10 p.m. puck drop right now, and that's the West first round, game 3. LA leads that series 2-0. Edmonton's got to get going there as well. NBA action. We're also in the playoffs on the hardwood. East first round, game 3. And it's the Orlando Magic right now trailing the Boston Celtics 54-46. Boston also looking to take a commanding 3-0 lead. Really no contest in that series. 48 seconds to go right before the half. The Pacers and Bucks just underway. Pacers up by 2, 16-14. 6 to go there in the first. That's also East first round, game 3. Indiana with a 2-0 2-0 lead there. And the Lakers taking on the Timberwolves. That's a little tighter series there. Tied at 1, Game 3, 9:30 tip-off. NFL Draft, we got the Shedeur Sanders watch. Still on. He's still got a tent outside with his father drinking beers. They haven't gotten picked yet, so we don't know what's happening there. Texans are on the clock. Who knows? Maybe they'll go look for a backup quarterback. I don't think so. They got a hell of a good quarterback there themselves. Baseball scores right now. The Nationals blanking the Mets 2-0 down in D.C. Bottom 6. Mid-5th, no score. Blue Jays and Yankees in the Bronx. Twins and Angels tied at 1, top 2nd. Bottom 3rd, no score. Astros and Royals. Brewers and Cards, no score as well. Top 1st there. Final from earlier today at Wrigley. Beautiful Chicago Wrigley Field. 4-0. The Cubs blanked the Phillies there. And the Cincinnati Reds, 8:40. They're playing the Rockies out in Colorado. Braves at the Diamondbacks, Marlins, Mariners, Rays, Padres, White Sox, Athletics, Pirates, Dodgers, Rangers, Giants. Boy, we got a full slate going on from 8:50 till about 10:15 tonight. First pitches there, big day. So speaking of the draft, sad story. I don't know if you fellas heard about this one. Mother of Steelers' first-round pick dies shortly after he visits her in hospital to reveal the selection. This is, Derek Harmon's mother was on life support. So she was more or less hanging in there for her son to see what happened. And, amazing story. Ryan Morick of Fox News. It said, after Derek Harmon was 21st overall pick Thursday, the newest Pittsburgh Steeler had to break the news to his mother. Harmon was unable to watch the draft with his mother because she was on life support in a hospital. Harmon said getting drafted was bittersweet because he couldn't spend it with his mom. Right after being selected, Harmon traveled to a hospital to visit his mother, Tiffany Sane, and tell her son got drafted. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Sane died shortly after. Harmon, a defensive tackle, was taken by the Steelers. Harmon and his mother said his mother had a stroke when he was a freshman at Michigan State, which left her paralyzed on her left side. She had about 8 brain surgeries, Harmon said. So very sad story there, Big D, for that young man from the Steelers. Yeah, really
sad, but a good story. Because she waited, and I've heard stories like that.
Oh, I believe
where people really can wait and like, okay, now I'm going to go.
Yep.
That's how my dad went.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll tell. I don't want to talk about it now, but
yep.
I know
the story.
2 days. 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago he passed, and it was weird because he held on for his birthday. He was the 23rd, died on the 24th. My wife was the 22nd, and I just, it was just strange the way.
No, I got a similar story.
You just knew.
Yeah, he lost his twin brother at his 22nd birthday. He was driving a motorcycle. I said, Pop, let go. Go see your brother Jack. There's a party over there waiting for you. Mom's taken care of, and it was like, that was it. It was just, he let go. It was crazy.
Yep. No question about it.
I have a similar story because when my dad passed, all the kids showed up all during the day, and my last grandkid showed up, and then he went. We waited literally for the last one to show up.
That's amazing.
And we were waiting too. We're like, Dad, you're hanging in there. You don't have to.
Yep.
And then it's amazing. And I thought exactly what you just said.
Yep. They
really
will have to say their goodbyes.
I think we're killing the audience right now.
Absolutely. Well, Big D, I got rodeo coming up a little bit later, and that's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
I don't think so at all. I think those are beautiful stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I like it.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. So we're going to do news with Delgado normally here, but let's just open it up to everybody because we got to talk about this judge.
That's my top story.
Yeah, I mean, how can it not be, right? But the top part of it for me is the reaction from the left about it.
She's a hero.
I mean, did you listen to Pam Bondi lay out what she did?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're still getting Bernie Sanders with these speeches. You're getting these official notices from their office about somehow that she's the victim here.
Right. Yeah, exactly. When she's the one committing the crime.
Totally.
We have a judge who admittedly has committed a crime. And here comes the left. Every guns are blazing. Woo! We love criminals, and there they are, shaking their pom poms for it. It's amazing.
Right. There's no activist judges, right, Kevin?
No, none whatsoever. And my favorite thing about this is, hey, the guy we tried to put in prison for nothing is cranky and he's putting judges in prison for things they really did.
Yep.
I mean, she did this.
Yeah.
I mean, Amy Klobuchar says this is not normal. The administration's arrest of a sitting judge in Wisconsin is a drastic move that threatens the rule of law. And I responded to her, and I said, well, the judge harbored and concealed a criminal alien, obstructed federal law enforcement, let the guy out the back door, smashed the cell phone with evidence on it, willfully violated federal immigration law. Last time I checked, all of those are crimes. And by the way, all of them are enacted into law by Congress.
Right.
Yep.
So what the hell are you talking about?
Tom Homan said, if you stop us from throwing people out, we will prosecute you.
Yeah.
This, I think, and remember, we had one arrested yesterday, New Mexico.
Yep, New Mexico guy.
2 days, two Marxist judges gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited about this. This could be the turnaround we've been waiting for.
That's what I got out of it too. It's like we finally arrested someone that did something dumb and obvious. But my litmus test is Facebook, as you know, and I'm looking at all the liberals that are connected with me on Facebook, and they're dug in on what Damon just said. You know, they are dug in on this left narrative. And here's the scariest part: is we can see this narrative on the media and through the left. I've just convinced people like this was some dictatorship move when it had nothing to do with any of that. It was a judge that broke the law, right? Pretty obvious, pretty common sense. But they have changed that story to the point where regular people, maybe not just like us here, but regular people out there are outraged that this judge was arrested. And that's the scariest part. The power of this media is taking over their brains.
But you know what? A lot of the normie people out there are looking at this going, this is exactly what we've been talking about.
Another 80-20
right. It's another
losing battle.
This is a 95-5.
It's exactly right.
95-5.
It's another thing that'll bury him.
Right.
I mean, you got New York lawyers tweeting tonight. This is North Korea level scary. This is what they're tweeting.
What? It's comical.
Are you kidding?
I mean, it's unbelievable. All right, live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. We got more news with Doug Otto, Vinnie Mac, Kevin Downey Jr., Paul Nolan, all coming up right after this. For Kevin?
Take your time.
Drinks are on the house, everyone. Drinks are on the house.
Yeah.
Or have you been drinking already? No?
I can't believe the way the left is dug in on this position, too.
So, Kev.
But it's everyone.
You guys over here, and we're shooting into the corner.
It's every position. It's not just like this judge is just one. How many common sense things that you see, like, how are they dug in here?
It's unbelievable.
They're going to El Salvador. Why? It's the same thing. Like
Chat live in the chat.
It's so
we're going to do our first.
bonkers.
Let's keep. So
Kevin's going to run into the crowd.
All right, let's keep
so that when we cut to that camera,
So we'll be.
guys can
you'll be able to
escape
see that.
way,
That'll be fun.
Harry will handle this part.
Kevin Mike is on.
And no, I did not go and blow my socks.
What happened to KDJ's mic?
Whose socks?
My socks.
Is it on? There we go. Thank you.
Sorry, I thought socks was your houseboy.
Tweet Potato in the Twix chat. Howdy doody. Farmer Brooke is in there. Damon, tell Harry Farmer Brooke says hi.
All right, very good. I will.
Yep.
I will.
Commander Mike, live in the chat. LC San Diego. San Diego. That's German for a Wales. You know the worst. Tempered Wisdom in the Rumble chat. Giving us $1 rant. It says, by the way, Damon lost the bet and got beat up by a girl.
Who said that?
Tempered Wisdom.
Okay.
In the Rumble chat.
Yeah.
I did no such thing.
YouTube chat there. Nick gave us $5. Byron Donalds for governor of Florida. Studio 6B rocks. If you want the real news, this is it. Tune in. Wake up, fellow Americans. Thank you very much, Nick.
Another $1 Tempered Wisdom rant. Freaking awesome story there, guys. Brought a tear to my eye and a smile in my heart. You guys rock. He's talking about the
I
passing.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
What's that?
I thought both of those stories were beautiful.
There you go. Very similar,
What's that, Aaron?
Yeah.
So Kevin.
Mine was
you don't go.
3.5, 4 years ago.
Charles Newton, $1.99 in the YouTube chat. That's more my speed. Thank you, sir.
Harry's going to try and move into this. Okay.
Boy, he loves.
Horse and Pfeffer, yes, they were warned. You are correct.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone love the mic more.
Yeah, baby. We're back live from the America First Warehouse, the most patriotic place you're ever going to be, with the most patriotic people you're ever going to meet, right behind us right now. I am hanging with Patriot Jim, better known as Aaron's dad. Let's hear a round of applause for Aaron's dad. Yeah. Can I just call you Aaron's dad?
Sure, you can call me whatever you want, Kevin.
All right, Aaron's dad, tell me. Now, when did you first become MAGA? What was it that sent you? Like, I'll go first. When I saw Trump beat 15 Republicans back in the 2016, I was like, that's it. That is my guy. I'm going to vote for this man forever. Was there anything that set you off that said, wow, this is my cat. I love this guy?
I can't really say that. I mean, I've been a Republican since Nixon, so it's been a long, long time.
Who do you think? Do you think that Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump are the two greatest presidents ever? Who's beaten them, really? I mean, another Republican, Abraham Lincoln. But what do you think? Do we have the best presidents in the history of this country with the Republican Party?
I'm a huge fan of Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. I have to tell you, amazing.
All right. There we go. We're with Aaron's dad. Let's get back to the show. Take it away, Big D.
All right, very good, KDJ. I love it. I love Aaron's dad, too. Now, I noticed you didn't bring up
the odds makers.
Football picks.
The odds makers. Jim was on, I think, week 1 of the odds makers.
Yeah,
as well.
he was 0 for October.
Slick,
I love him. I love him.
the guy sitting right here.
I know.
I was going to say what a wonderful job he did on screen. I was going to stay away from the pick
No, you
part.
weren't.
No, you weren't.
You were not.
Ah, you're right. I was going to hammer him as hard as I could, but you did it for me. So,
Give him a little. Give him a little.
right.
That's my lane.
all right, very good, KDJ. Excellent. Very good. Live from Studio 6B, 33 past the hour. Let's do some official news now. We'll start with Rick Delgado. He's got it. News is brought to you by our friends over at EternalLifeCoin.com. EternalLifeCoin.com. If you want just a wonderful piece as a gift, whether it's for Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, or whatever it is, check them out. EternalLifeCoin.com. Delgado's got the news. What's going on?
All right, I'm going to do this one. It's not my top story. My top story would be the Milwaukee judge, which I got a couple clips we'll get to next. But I'd be remiss if I didn't hit this story first because it hits us so close to home. I'm talking about former Representative George Santos. Sentenced to 7 years. 7 years
Wow.
in prison.
That's heavy, man.
You're talking about 87 months. Prosecutors asked the judge to sentence the former Republican congressman from New York, Long Island specifically, to 87 months for what they called, and I didn't even know this was a crime you could commit, unparalleled crimes. They're unparalleled, which means that they don't. They're
Is that like when you strenuously object?
Right. Yes.
Strenuously object.
When you tersely word a letter, yes, it has to be in that category.
Yeah.
Santos, who surprised political assent to winning the New York congressional seat, ended in what prosecutors called a mountain of lies. Sounds like a politician. Theft, sounds like a politician, and fraud, still sounds like a politician, was sentenced Friday to more than 7 years in prison. Where is the remorse, the judge asked Santos, the host of his own podcast called Pants on Fire. His pants will definitely be on fire now that he's in jail.
You can't make it up.
That's a perk
Keep
for
him
him.
on.
Yeah, before sentencing him to 87 months behind bars and ordering him to
bars,
pay
right.
almost $374,000 in restitution.
Wow.
Yeah, Santos,
That's a serious sentence, man.
Yeah,
For what he
30
did.
Vin, I think they threw the book at him so hard because the other politicians are like, jackass, you're going to blow up our gig here. We got a lot of free money coming in. You were too obvious. You got to be a better BS artist.
That's
so
right.
That's probably
He
why
got busted.
7 years.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
You're going to wreck our scam.
He pleaded guilty last August of 24. He was charged with committing wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, conduct the prosecutor said was part of a year-long scheme, and also some campaign finance stuff that he did with donors and family members in order to line his own pockets. He will be surrendering. And see, here's another thing. Usually, when you're convicted of a crime, right? I've seen TV shows, I've seen movies. As soon as you're convicted, they come
jail.
and they walk you out and they put you in cuffs and your family's crying. They're trying to hug you and kiss you as you go off to your new playground.
Your new digs.
Right. He's ordered to surrender July 25th. Why are they giving him this much time?
Maybe to hide his cash. Who knows?
It's
just the
promote his
weirdest
new
thing.
soap on a rope line. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he's getting some tips on how to stay hard in prison.
Excuse me.
All right.
What?
That didn't come out right.
That didn't come out right either.
No.
Bob Guccione to the front desk, please. Bob Guccione. Yes. Where's Bob Guccione?
Hello, anybody else?
Where's Larry Flint when you need him?
There's another YouTube strike.
I am referencing the movie Stay Hard with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Where he goes to prison,
right.
but he hires Kevin.
Of course
what's his
it
name?
was.
Kevin Hart.
Sure.
To
Yeah.
teach him how to be hard in prison, so he can,
We get it.
right.
We get it, right?
Maybe when you're underwater, stop digging here. What's next in the news line?
I can't wait.
Oh my God. No more jail stories.
Any UFOs?
Yeah.
Well, of course, the big story as the FBI arrested Milwaukee judge over obstructing ICE officers, and this one again, we were talking about it last segment. FBI Director Kash Patel announced that arrest, I guess on X, and then maybe he shouldn't have been spiking the football, so he took it down. But then I guess he put it back up. He announced the arrest on X this morning after the FBI launched an investigation into claims that she had helped the illegal, who was scheduled to appear before her court, evade arrest by ICE officials and snuck them out the door. You talked about Pam Bondi. Here she is, cut 12, talking about this arrest and what this judge did. Check it out for yourself. This is cut number 12.
And to set the stage for you and Sandra, this was truly horrific. This guy was in court being prosecuted by a state prosecutor for domestic violence battery. He had beat up two people, a guy and a girl, hit the guy 30 times, knocked him to the ground, choked him, beat up a woman so badly they both had to go to the hospital. And John, you know, it's so rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes, victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. While a state prosecutor and victims of domestic violence are sitting in the courtroom.
Yeah, so there you have it. Explained by Pam Bondi. Of course, after her arrest by FBI, she herself found herself in front of a judge, and here she is escaping.
I love that.
I guess this is a recreation of what she did for the illegal.
Oh.
She escaped out the back. Here, check this out. Here's cut number 11. You can see it for yourself. After she was in front of the judge, cut 11. Check this out. Here she goes.
Judge,
Escaping out the
what do you
back.
say about this?
Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
Yet the left tonight is running towards every rhino Republican they can find to try to make this like this is some big escalation towards us being North Korea. I see Charlie
That is
Sykes.
sick.
Charlie Sykes tonight, of course. Who does he have? He has Adam Kinzinger on. So all of the weak, pathetic rhinos are going to be very active tonight on MSLSD and CNN and every place else as we frame this as this woman's the victim.
Right.
It's crazy.
These are not judges, though. Everybody, we're using the wrong term.
Right.
They're not judges. They're politicians in robes. They are not judges. Their bias is unquestionably there with all the things they're doing, but they're pretending to be judges. Judges are supposed to do what they do. These are politicians. This is what the left has set up for the last 15 years at least,
Without
maybe 20 years. This is the defense system. It's like this is the iron shield that they have put in to offset one day if they ever lost power. So anyone who uses the word judge, it's wrong. We shouldn't even address them as judges.
Right.
They're politicians in robes, and that's it.
Klobuchar, like I said before, said this is not normal. I just see Ted Cruz replied, said, yes, I fully agree. It's not normal for a sitting judge to actively obstruct law enforcement and smuggle a criminal, illegal alien out a side door. Yeah, it's not normal.
No, that could be considered human trafficking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And a violent one. What a smack in the face to the woman who got beaten up. I'm going to let your guy go. Politics, sorry. We hate Trump.
Yep. That's what it's all about.
It's offensive.
we hate Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Again,
that's it. That's the excuse. That's the get out of jail card for all.
Again, the FBI arrested this judge, Judge Hannah Dugan, in Milwaukee, and now she's going to have to, I guess, lawyer up pretty good. Because it's going to be tough for her to say, well, I don't know what was going on. I didn't see those guys out there. She's got a lot of problems. Hopefully, it means she's going to be stepping down from the court.
Hopefully, this is the beginning too.
Yeah.
Of people getting arrested.
Right.
All right, we'll do some more news with Delgado, but KDJ is here. He's got a big fundraiser this Saturday in someplace in Pennsylvania that you should go to if you can find it.
Muncie.
Muncie Valley.
Muncie Valley, Pennsylvania. Check them out. 7:30 Saturday night.
It'll be
big
performing
fundraiser
for the Amish, right? It'll be for the Amish crowd.
Oh, yeah, they love me.
Okay.
When I go there, man, they raise the bar, and they're like, whoa, KDJ.
All right, KDJ. I don't know. I know you're doing your act Saturday night, but what's in the news tonight that's got your attention?
Thank you, Big D. Check this out. And so Chicago's Marxist mayor, Brandon Johnson, he's looking at all these tariffs and whatnot, and he goes, you know what? Because of this, I have to raise all your taxes. Has nothing to do with spending billions of dollars making our replacements feel comfy, cozy. But look at this. This comes from my friends at Town Hall. Town Hall says, Brandon Johnson is using President Donald Trump's tariffs as a convenient excuse to hike taxes on already overburdened residents. Now, keep in mind, they line up on the south side of Chicago to scream at this guy. Screaming at, why did you turn our sports complex over to illegal immigrants? Why did you do, and all this money? We've been poor for 4 generations. We haven't gotten anything. And man, are they going crazy now? And here's his Stalin-like excuse. Well, the fluctuations of the market and Trump's tariffs. There you go. Blame Trump. Yeah. Got to raise all your taxes. And they're going crazy in Chicago. But he's using it because no one really knows much about the tariffs. All they know is what they've heard. Hey, the tariffs are bad. We're all going to starve to death. So he's using this as, well, because of Trump's tariffs, I got to raise all your taxes. And they're not having it in the south side of Chicago. Going a little cranky tonight. Yeah. Going a little cranky. Because, I mean, most people see through
I wonder how many of the cranks actually voted for this guy. All of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? He's more of a communist than that lady who looks like a pug.
By far.
What was that?
Yeah, she looks like a conservative compared to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beetlejuice or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
For her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look what else I got. So I'm trying to figure out why most of the Tesla terrorists are retired. All right? And I've got pictures. They're in their 70s. Look at this cat. He's from Long Island. And for those of you who don't know, we have a ton of Teslas out here. I was shopping at TJ Maxx the other day. Hate to brag. But
I am, baby.
and in my aisle at the parking lot, there are 4 Teslas and 2 in the next. They're all over the place. So it's a target-rich environment for the hippies. Look at this one. Speaking of hippies, 83 years old. He's at Roosevelt Field Mall, and he's just chopping up Teslas with his keys. And he doesn't realize there's cameras on all of them.
Oh,
there's cameras in the parking lot. And they pick about $23,000 worth of damage. They say, why'd you do it? He goes, oh, I didn't do that. And they show him the video. Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm just walking with my key like this. I'm just walking down. And, so there he is, 83 years old. He's in the Hooskow, and they're going to let him out soon.
Oh, God. Hate to brag. All right, news with Paul Nolan and Vinnie Mac coming up live from Studio 6 p.m. on a Friday night from the America First Warehouse. We're back right after this.
That was funny.
Oh, thanks.
Did you have that prepared?
What's that?
Did you have that prepared or that popping your
Yeah, I
head?
just came out.
Hey, Harry, after we were done with the hit, you went right in front of the camera. You gotta go around.
We got a good shot of the back of your head there, Harry. It was nice.
Huh?
Can we get the air conditioner on in the commercial breaks?
No.
No way?
No way.
Now, by the time it goes on, forget it.
Yeah, it's too loud. It takes too long to shut down.
Holy cow, man. We're going to have to go topless next week.
It is. You may have to wear a one-piece.
Well, we'll have a cooler before we start.
Yeah.
We didn't really have it on today.
Well, when there's a lot of people in here, man, it's gonna be hot.
We'll
jumping all around.
Huh?
When we have the full audience, I'll have him go weaving out. I mean, we'll have.
I mean, this is what we're doing it tonight for. This happen.
Yump and Yiminy.
Huh?
Do it tonight.
Come on, Harry.
Like,
Yum and Yiminy.
Come on.
He could be like,
Come on.
some of the
Come on, Harry.
Okay,
Go.
posters, the Trump
Okay,
stuff.
fine.
Aaron,
Get on your horse.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Hey, can you,
Oh,
Harry, can you
hold on. Child of the King, $10. Sorry, Paul. The YouTube. There was a troll in the chat. Please remove it.
Uh-oh.
Troll in the YouTube chat. Big D.
Who's the troll? I bet I know him.
Drag Blacker, $20. Thank you, Drag Blacker.
Oh, I know who that troll is. It's Vinny.
Last name Buda's friend.
You keep telling judges to be impartial and interpret the law. They all believe they're acting on moral principle. It's like if you violated the fugitive slave law in the 1850s. Damn the law. We must do the moral thing. So that's right. Drag Blacker.
We have a name on the troll.
No, I do not. I just saw Child of the King. Child of the King. What's the name of that troll? Big D's got the zapper right. He's got Delgado's weed torch. We're going to take him right out of the garden.
Take him out.
Come on. All right, the troll is, D-Hempress is the troll. D-Hempress. Yep, put him up in smoke, Big D.
I don't know that I'm going to do that. I just want to see what he's saying.
Well, he's a hemp whore.
I'm not really into,
I know you're not.
Zapping?
D-Hempress.
The Empress says you want God, but you can't deflate your ego.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
That doesn't.
There must be more to it.
That doesn't reach the level of
Child of the King wouldn't be
torching.
She wouldn't be calling him out. If there was a troll in here, I saw that earlier. I didn't see what they said, but people did. Allegedly, Big D.
Hey, pay attention over your mouth. Hey, guys, if you hear something from
Rush the band.
Rush the band.
Rush the band in the Rumble chat.
Warehouse. There he is, Joe the Box in the house.
Crank it up.
Oh, come on now.
Come on, crank it up.
There's a rowdy bunch here tonight. Rowdy bunch. Getting us warmed up for next Friday night when you'll be here. And we're looking forward to it, of course. Joe the Box and everybody here has been so great to us, and we so appreciate it.
Yeah.
Vinnie Mac's here. He's going to do some news here in a second. Delgado's here. KDJ. Slick is going to have more sports. Paul Nolan's here, though. We'll go to Paul now. Paul, what's on your mind in the news?
Well, we go over to Russia and Ukraine. President Donald Trump on Friday called for Russian and Ukrainian officials to meet and finish their peace deal. There were years of long bloodshed across Ukraine. He said the comments were made on social media as the president landed in Rome for the Pope Francis's funeral. The U.S. Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff, spent most of Friday working with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow to further peace talks between the two countries, which the United States is clearly helping to orchestrate. Trump said the U.S. is still committed to facilitate the end of the war, but encouraged both leaders in both countries to finish the agreement off. So obviously that's not going so well, because in related news, Ukrainian President Zelensky revealed that the Ukraine is trying and ready to purchase more American-made Patriot missile systems from the United States, noting that it was top priority for Ukraine to secure air defense systems for Ukraine. In a video on X, Zelensky said he held a staff meeting and added that among the top priorities were Ukraine's agreements with partners and its readiness to produce air defense systems in Ukraine. Zelensky added that Ukraine would be seeking to reach a corresponding agreement. And obviously, in other news,
he's going to buy them.
Kyiv was bombed to smithereens.
Is he going to buy that
stuff? It's not going so well. What's that?
Is he going to buy that stuff with the money that we're giving them?
He actually mentions your name in here. Vin Buda is going to be wiring $7 billion. Is that true, Vin?
Yeah, with a B.
It's unbelievable. It's just amazing watching the stories here. And then if you watch any of this from the liberal sources, I got my stories from Just the News and Breitbart. But, in response,
let me ask you guys a question.
12 dead.
Yeah, let me ask you guys a question on this, because I saw President Trump, he was not happy the other day with this bombing that Russia carried out. And when he was asked about it in the Oval Office, he just said, stop. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I started to think, well, is stop going to become the new don't? Remember Biden? Don't. Do you think stop is where do you think the president goes now if Russia continues to be? I mean, he's kind of dealing it with China with the tariffs as well. They don't seem to be, we don't really know what's going on. There doesn't seem to be a ton of movement right now. China seems like they want to play a little hardball. Russia clearly wants to play hardball in this war with Ukraine. Trump
As
says
does
stop.
Zelensky, by the way.
Yeah, Trump says stop the other day. What do you think of that?
Well, I think first off, there's way too much information out about all of this stuff, particularly the Russia-Zelensky thing. Trump's commenting on everything in real time, and what happens is this causes undue pressure on the resolution to it, which normally is behind closed doors, happening over months and months and months. But he apparently has a decent relationship with this guy, Putin. And I think when he finally kind of lost it a little and said stop, I don't equate it to a Biden don't, because a Biden don't was like an Obama red line. It just didn't matter. I think Trump saying that does have an effect, and really the only effect is going to be if this doesn't go well and we walk away, or we draw, or we do something major now, because he is under a lot of pressure to not be a Biden don't. He needs to do something strong here.
Voted, right? We voted for him. We wanted out of this war. And we know that the Victoria Nulands and the and the neocons and the Obamas and all these people had this plan from the Maidan Revolution, and this went even back 20 years before that. This was a scam for minerals, for money, for every possible under the radar black market scam that could possibly be. Obviously now this is not Trump's deal. It's not his war. It's not MAGA's war. We don't want it. But right now, in my opinion, I feel like, why should Putin relent at this point? The leverage is gone. The sentiment for Zelensky is gone. Zelensky keeps popping off like a clown, and he is a clown. He's done nothing to help his nation. He has no chance at winning. He's being pummeled left and right, and he's still puffing his chest up with human fodder. Meanwhile, most of these regions, the regions that are being taken, want to be Russian. So at what point do we say cut ties with Zelensky? This guy is such a bad guy. I'm fed up with him.
He's out of control. I mean, he's saying
you keep
the wrong
poking
thing.
a psychopath KGB like bear. This guy's a cold-blooded murderer. This guy has no care for human life whatsoever. You're going to keep challenging him? What's the point?
You know what I think, D? I think stop. It reminds me when I was a kid and my mom would say, cut it out, and my dad would just go, stop.
Yeah.
And I went,
yeah.
And I would stop. That's how I read that stop.
Yeah.
And I think Putin is a slime. He's a slime. But I think he also knows that Trump's not messing around. So I took that as an angry father.
That's where I'm coming from.
One
with it,
syllable.
too.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys feel that way. That's encouraging.
Yeah, good point. I think so.
Especially when you consider, they're talking about, hey, we're going to lose some land here. They have to come to terms with the fact that Ukraine, the way it was before this started, is not going to be the Ukraine going forward.
Right.
Even the mayor of Kiev is saying, we will need to give up some land here. Because he understands that there is no, let's just go back to the way things were before this all started, and let's all be friends. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, there's winners and losers in war.
Yeah.
You lost.
And like you said, the area they're fighting over, they're Russian.
Yeah.
They want to be with Russia, or at least somehow involved with them. And there was peace there until Joe Biden got in and he sent that creepy Boris Johnson guy from the UK. With the blonde hair, he sent him over to Ukraine, say, all right, we're going to start a war that we've tried to start in 2014. Right. So let's get it cooking. Yeah, I think. And Zelensky, no one's paying attention to him. He reminds me of like the popular high school kid who graduated, and now he's coming back to all the football games, and no one gives a crap about him anymore.
Yeah,
like, you don't even go to school here.
The kid who peaked in high school.
Yeah.
That's it. He's what do you call it? He's Napoleon Dynamite's uncle. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. See this football? I can throw it right over that mountain.
Right over that.
But contradicting Trump at every turn.
It was just.
I mean, if he really feels that way, he should not say it publicly. Number one, because what's Trump going to do?
Yeah,
we give him no choice. Like, how can I even support you when you say dumb stuff like this? Like, I'm trying to resolve this thing, and you keep doing dumb things, and this guy's going to wipe you out.
A million dead or maimed. A million.
That's sick.
Yes.
It really is sick
Sick.
stuff.
And billions in his own pocket. because it's all disappeared and they don't know where it went. And again, it comes down to what Paul was saying. It's about money, it's about power, and it's about mineral. It's whatever they got
Human
that they can
trafficking.
trade.
How about biolabs? There's a million scams running through this
Yep.
thing. So it's a disgrace. The whole thing is a disgrace, and this is all Obama is doing. This is all the puppets of the CIA and deep state. This is exactly what the deep state is. It controls every war, controls all the money, it controls all the war machine. It's a joke. The whole thing is a disgrace.
All right, Paul, anything else in the news?
No.
Okay. All right, very good. We are live from the
Check, please.
Check, please. We're live from the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. Vinnie Mac's
The
going to have
CIA's knocking on the door. They're asking for me.
Vinnie Mac's going to have some
Again?
thoughts once we come back to kick off.
I got some thoughts.
Don't worry, Paul. I'll sneak you out the back like that judge.
You know a judge?
Yeah, you know a judge that can sneak you out the back door. Exactly. We'll do more sports with Slick, Kevin Downey Jr., Vinnie Mac's going to have some thoughts, more news with Paul. Aaron and Fran are holding it down on a Friday night. Live from the America First Warehouse. Well, you will be next Friday night. We look forward to seeing you here. Harry on the highway, get them fired up. Let's go. Hour 2 coming up right after this.
Another cool talk, too, man. Where does he find these? Boy, Drag Blacker coming with more cash. You see that? Nick putting in some cash over here, too.
A lot of people mentioning the Zelensky thing. It really definitely touched a nerve.
YouTube, yep, Nick. I can't wait till Gretchen Whitmore is out. Fix the roads, my butt. I can't believe I voted for that. The only vote I ever regret in my voting time. Yeah, Nick is not happy in Michigan. What do you think about that one, Kevin? That's your home state.
I'll tell you, everyone's sick of Stretch and Gretchen.
Yeah.
I don't think
Stretch and Gretchen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why they call her that.
She's laying
when
a
there's
lot
no
more
one
than roads,
listening.
right? Yeah.
I already know. Okay. Yeah, they have. Wow, they're really cranky, really cranky. You know what? Patriot Pat, Patriot Earl are watching right now. Patriot Pat and Earl, I'm in the Facebook chats. If you want to lay down a little smackdown on Stretch and Gretchen, I'll be happy to read it on air if you keep it clean. Everyone I know can't. She's done. She's done. And you know that Jocelyn Benson, the communist who's the Secretary of State, they told her to clean up the voter rolls, but she left the people on who didn't have driver's licenses, i.e. tons of illegal immigrants.
Yep. Vinny, this one's for you. Dreg Black at $10. Question: what is the difference between part of Ukraine wanting to join Russia and the German parts of Czechoslovakia wanting to be a part of Germany in the 1930s? I want Vinny's answer especially. Drag Blacker.
That seems like a challenge.
What is the difference?
Wow, that is a challenge.
Talking about the Sudetenland, Vinny.
I need to study up on all these things.
You
Come
will.
on, Vinny, hit him in the German.
Ja, haben Sie einen Plattenspieler, bitte? It's the only phrase I know in
I'll have the
German.
bratwurst.
Have you a record player, please? Haben Sie einen Plattenspieler, bitte? I went to school in Germany for a year. That's what they taught you. Have you a pencil? Have you a record player, please? And it got me out of a lot of trouble.
1, 2, 3.
I told Vinny there'd be no history or no math, so he's not allowed to answer that.
Oh, slick.
Yeah,
Big
my
fight
extent
in
of German
Montreal.
goes to uno, dos,
Did we
tres.
hit a hot
Yeah.
button
Big
topic
fight on
there,
ice.
Vin, on,
Melee, huh?
Zelensky.
Oh, it's a
Putin?
Donnybrook.
Uh-oh.
Vincenz, do we
It's like Slapshot.
hit a hot button in the chat on the Zelensky?
Yeah, I mean, folks are talking about his wife spending a lot of money.
Millions.
All the monies
Millions.
that they're spending. I just want to see this thing unraveled. Like, I want to follow the money, see exactly what happened. I would hope
There are quite a few
Doge is doing these types of things, but we have to know.
Well, the good thing is that even though
There are some good documentaries on it from 2000, 2001, 2002. You can find even
just wanna make sure.
what's his name, Oliver Stone, is a little bit out there. He did.
Studio 6B, Hour 2, live from the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. Glad you're in, everybody. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, thumbs up. Follow us on social media at LFS6B pretty much everywhere. Rick Delgado's here. He's got the news. Kevin Downey Jr., Paul Nolan, news as well. Slick's got sports coming up. We'll do sports here in a second, but let's kick off Hour 2 with Vinnie Mac, back from his time, well, a week away in Florida. You don't look that tan, though. Did you spend any time in the sun when you were there?
But what's with that? Like, you got to go to Florida and you got to come back with the tan?
Yes.
I'm at the beach every day.
I mean, listen, you're a good-looking guy.
Thank you. I was a former model for many years. Thank you, everybody.
You don't put car grease in your hair
not to brag.
like I've been asking you to do for years.
I was
your
a sock model.
You look good. Your natural hair looks good.
Better than a sock puppet.
Yeah.
I can't sit at the beach. I'm just not a beach guy like that.
No.
Can't do it.
You can't go fall asleep.
I can't lay at the beach. Sit at it. People read books. They can hang out. I'm like
dead.
Kramer. I'm bouncing off the walls.
Yeah,
after
no, I
4 or 5
can't do it
minutes.
either.
If I'm at the beach, I need like one of those big giant pop-up tents. I need fans. I need coolers. I need all kinds of
sit by the pool.
gear. It's just hot.
I get to the beach and I'm like, I got to go.
Yeah, I
gotta
go.
I need a fire extinguisher because I burst into flames.
I love it, man.
Yeah, you need an SPF 1200, I believe.
I love it. I just lay out there. I love it.
SPF.
You love the beach, Slick?
I love the beach.
I'm not crazy about the sand on my feet, but other than that, I'm good, man.
See, I don't mind that. But I need a tent. I need shade.
Okay, I can see that.
And a
You like the
couch.
beach, but you don't like the sand.
Oh, no, the sand on my feet.
Or the ocean.
Oh, yeah. Who likes
for all that
sand?
water?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Vinnie Mac is here. What's been on your mind, Vinnie?
Well, I have a broader thing on my mind because there's so many specific stories that I know Delgado's going to cover and the rest of the guys are going to cover. And what's been bugging me is this whole 100-day thing. Trump's first 100 days. And all you're hearing about is in the first 100 days, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, or his polling's a little down and all this other nonsense. It's 100 days. This guy has done a remarkable amount of stuff,
Yes.
not a little stuff.
Yes.
He has mobilized the entire army. He's mobile with Hegseth in there now, who's got the military now moving in a really good direction. Recruitment's way up.
Yeah.
The border was closed on like the first 7 days. There's all of these great things happening. Yet all I hear from people, and I see this because I'm on Facebook getting get into fights with people. Yeah. Keeps me healthy. Keeps me off the beach. But I see this whole thing about the first 100 days and all these his approval rate is going down, and I bet you Trump voters are having, remorse for their vote and all this things. It's been 100 days. And we're talking about Russia, Ukraine. Okay. It's been 100 days. This Biden let a war start. We're trying to resolve it. It's been 100 days. Relax. This amount of time is not something where you can not only fully judge a president, but a president that has done so much in 100 days.
Who's up against so much.
He is up, and that's really where the basis of a lot of my points are, because what I see is I thought it was scary, the media machine back in the first Trump run. And when I say scary, because I know a lot of people whose brains were completely rewired, through this whole process. And I see this happening all over again, like the people protesting this judge that was arrested over a common sense issue. This is just black and white. That's what the law is, essentially. It's generally black and white, and you break the law, you get... But for some reason, they think this is wrong, right? This is moving towards dictatorship is what I hear from folks. So I see them...
A dictatorship kind of falls into the category of existential crisis.
Constitutional crisis. Yeah.
The king,
all of that narrative. So I do flip on reluctantly MSLSD and CNN and all that to kind of see what they're talking about. And I understand that this is what they're bombarding people with, are all of these lies. I guess the scary part for me is people are believing this in numbers that I cannot comprehend. Very smart people. When I say smart people, these are people that I know most of my life. that I see on social media, and I bet you a lot of people out here probably have friends the same way,
100%.
and you're just bewildered.
Not anymore.
How are you? Yeah. I've lost, some very close friends recently been defriended by this stuff, and I'm like, what is happening? So I look at the 100 days, and I'm like, the media is brainwashing so many people, but they are doing an extraordinary job, in a bad way, of changing this narrative of very logical things. El Salvador guy, with the MS-13 thing and all these, people going down there and trying to help him. You think about just logically.
It's sorcery.
Yeah, it is. It is something at a level that I never thought I'd see beyond maybe a couple of fringies here or there, but not with people that I actually know.
I know.
Well,
and that I had relationships with.
But this has been something they've been working on for decades.
Yeah.
So this is the fruit of their labor, basically. But a lot of it has been changed in the last couple of years, especially once Elon purchased Twitter and changed it to X. Now you see a lot of people saying, you know what? I do see the lies now. Holy cow! I can't believe it.
I think that's right.
Could you imagine if he didn't?
Right, and you're seeing these fake stories. Remember how long the fake Russia thing went on for a couple of years. Now stuff like that gets bombed, gets taken out quickly.
Well, when they had the algorithm where they wanted it, that's when they rolled out the Obama phone. They didn't care about the poor people. They wanted to start planning, start brainwashing them, and start mobilizing them to have these riots in the street. It was all part of everybody in those low-income areas who got a free phone had a feed that told them to go
Can you
attack
believe they did that?
the streets. It's truly astounding how powerful the algorithm is.
The positive, though, is what Delgado was just saying, that there are a lot of people that are seeing through this. Obviously, that's why Trump won the election.
Right.
Many people came to common sense. And the last point I want to make in all of this is the Supreme Court. I am bewildered by what is happening with the Supreme Court.
I know.
I expected, this federal judge thing we talked about before, politicians in robes, I expected this. And I think we all expected that, they were going to use something to undermine Trump. But the Supreme Court's going to come to the rescue. And the Supreme Court has not come to the rescue.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court has defied logic in many of their rulings.
Yeah. We talked about it last night, too. And, if you're thinking they are going to come to your to the rescue, I think you're in for a sad, rude awakening.
And even with, Israel, Trump took the gloves off. He let, Netanyahu take down Hamas. Did a great job. He let that happen. It's a great thing.
But listen to what you're talking about. Israel's a great point. The Hamas thing. What happened? Hamas murdered, raped, tortured, destroyed over 1,000 people. And what do we still see happening? People coming to Hamas's to their side in this country.
Yeah.
Because the media has gotten them so jacked up and so gaslit to believe that they've been fed for years that Israel's evil.
Guys,
right?
you got to see this Pew Research I have on America's view of Israel's conflict with Hamas. I don't know if we have time for it now, but it's astounding. It's astounding. I'll just give you a couple.
But while he gets to that, remember, the river to the sea crowd in the Democratic Party has been running deeper and deeper and deeper for years now. We've seen it.
You mark my
the
words.
self-hating of Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer and all of them.
If things keep moving this way, with how far it's shifted, we're going to see a pro-Hamas president run and win. That's how sick this is, how these numbers are.
I think all of this leads me to one final thought on every piece of this, and that is Trump's going to do a lot of great things here. He's going to make a lot happen. We need 8 years. We can't afford, and I've mentioned this a bunch of times in the past, we can't afford for the left to get anyone in office, whether it's control of the House, the Senate, or the presidency, after Trump. We need at least 8 years to clean this up. Trump's going to clean a lot up over 4 years, but look at what he's facing. He's facing a media that's brainwashing every subject, rogue judges that are politicians in robes, undermining everything, a Supreme Court that's not backing him up. He's going to get a ton done, but we'll need 8 years. They have to literally be dismantled.
Yeah. But what I do love is the mainstream media complaining about it. They don't believe us anymore. They don't listen to us. And I saw another person say it today on another network. They're like, people believe this, what they see online, this fake news. I'm like, no, you guys were the fake news. Yeah. That's why we turned to them, because we figured out that you guys were lying to us all the time. The lie of omission is still a lie.
And the Pravda-style attack on us, right? How many years now? Really, to me, it went into full overdrive in 2012. Do you agree?
Easily. You know what? I think it was subtle before that.
Oh, without
we just
a doubt.
didn't
There was
notice.
social engineering leading up
We
to
didn't
9/11.
notice.
Yeah, and the Operation Mockingbird thing, that never went away.
They've split it into 12 different
Yep.
groups, or at least 12.
Yeah. And you know what? The good news is it was 18 to 22-year-olds. Now I'm hearing 18 to 29-year-olds are leaning towards Trump, towards MAGA. MAGA.
I think that's amazing. I'm shocked by that stat. Yeah, that's what should be happening.
Yep.
Yeah. I would leave Trump rallies, and I went to the bar at one after what do you call it? Where they used to play hockey out here, the Coliseum.
Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
Coliseum. I leave there, we go to a bar, and there's 22-year-olds coming in with MAGA gear.
Yeah.
I'm like, were you guys at the rail? Yeah, we love that dude.
Wow.
People get it.
Yeah,
They
and
get
that's
it.
the counterculture now.
It's great.
Yes, it is. It's
Yes.
And I said, what got you on board? And they go, well, CNN lies.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal thing.
Wow.
They obviously don't go to Harvard.
Yeah.
Communist News Network.
They're brainwashed over there big time.
All right, very good. 10 minutes past the hour. Let's do some sports while we can right now. Slick's got it. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, update on the draft. 59 picks are in. Only one quarterback was taken in the second round, and it wasn't Shedeur Sanders. It was Tyler Shue from Louisville.
Wow.
So,
Shedeur Sanders.
unbelievable.
This is embarrassing. Biden just gave him a preemptive pardon, by the way. That just came out.
He may need
I
one.
don't know what that's about.
So, and the last five teams. I mean, Denver's on the clock with Bo Nix. I don't see them taking it. Obviously, Washington, I don't see anybody grabbing him. He may go into the third round now. So that's really some story.
I wonder if there's serious dirt on him.
He had less than a 3% chance of not getting drafted in the first round per Vegas odds. So that's incredible if you really think about it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, sticking with football, Vikings great.
you didn't.
Vikings great Adrian Peterson arrested on DWI charge after appearing at team's NFL celebration, the draft celebration that is. Peterson was at the U.S. Bank Stadium on Thursday for a Vikings draft event. Paulina Dadaj of Fox News, former Minnesota Vikings star running back Adrian Peterson, was arrested in Minnesota early Friday morning on a DWI charge hours after he appeared on as a special guest. Peterson, 40, was arrested by the Minnesota State Highway Patrol in the early morning hours on Friday and is facing a fourth-degree misdemeanor charge of driving while impaired, according to online records from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. TMZ Sports reported that the one-time league MVP was pulled over around 3:20 a.m. after law enforcement saw him traveling 83 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. According to the report, the arresting officer suspected that Peterson was driving while intoxicated. According to a report, his blood alcohol level was a .14, well over the legal limit. So Peterson, a future Hall of Famer, probably first ballot, was one of the Vikings' most dominant players. So sad to see that story happen there. They don't mess around in Minnesota. I drive through Hennepin County every year when I go to my Prince celebrations. You got to be careful there.
You ain't from around here,
Yeah,
boy.
that's right. Absolutely.
How
But
fast was he going?
83 and a 55. He's almost 30 miles
Paul
an hour.
does that out of the parking lot, getting to the road.
I could do that in reverse.
Paul does that. He does that in the school zone. No, just kidding.
All right, here goes the hate in the
All
chat.
right, Big D.
Is he driving a Tesla is what I want to know.
Big D does it in reverse.
I've heard. All right, live from Studio 6B, live from the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. We're back. More news, sports, all coming up. Hour 2, KDJ as well. Stay right there.
Come on.
What?
Joe, do you like Trump? I got to know it before I ask.
Say who?
Looks like
Holy Moses. What is that hum? I think the wireless mic is the
I
hum.
see. Hey, Fran, or Aaron, can
There
you hear
it goes.
me?
Now it's gone.
So someone sent me a message that said Paul's huge head is blocking me. And I said, nah, it can't be because the camera's over there. But now they're talking about over here. They didn't say huge head. I made that up. I guess it's some camera over here.
They just said a guy with a huge head. You thought it was Paul.
Right?
Yeah.
Pains in the ass.
I'm just letting you know.
That guy looks like a Macy's Day float.
I'm just paraphrasing.
He's going to sleep on his huge pillow tonight.
It's his huge Mike Lindell pillow.
Mike Lindell pillow.
Okay, so BGAMTN. BGAMTN. Oops, what's going on here? TN. Oh, God.
All right, let's see what's going on in the chats here.
Chat live in the
Chat.
chats.
Yep.
Drag Blacker with another 10 spot. Remember the big tent that Trump got reelected includes a lot of disaffected Bernie brothers.
What do I have here?
2000s era Democrats and more. They are not on your side. They hate Israel as much as the left. Drag Blacker. Drag Blacker firing them up from the basement, man. Look out.
So Aaron said no audience shots because you got 3 reads.
Right now, yeah. I said next segment.
Next segment.
We do the interview at the bottom of the hour.
Paul's gigantic head.
You could get some nice shots of stuff while I'm doing the reads. The
This
cameras
camera
look to be on
stinks
me.
over here.
You can get some.
I didn't get a harumph
I don't
from
think
you.
that.
I didn't. I missed my harumph.
You missed your harumph. I didn't get
Should
one.
have harumphed.
You got to really be a movie buff, you know? You brought that up, right?
Headley, Headley.
Yeah. Hey.
It's Headley.
Headley Lamar.
What?
Aaron said she's got graphics and stuff.
It's so funny when they ended that movie. They just essentially said they stole Monty Python.
Patty Jamcat in the YouTube chat.
Just admitted
Like,
it.
we don't know how to finish this.
Patty Jamcat says, hey, Harry needs a couch. Harry, get off the couch.
My suggestion: if you see Harry's office, stay off his.
I sound like the blues on a Friday night from the America First Warehouse. Let me talk to you about our friends over at AMAC. Did you know you can join AMAC today for just $1? That's right, $1 for a 1-year membership. That is crazy. I want to encourage all of you right now to visit amac.us/studio6b, amac.us/studio6b, and activate this limited time opportunity. Just listen to all that you get for $1. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, works tirelessly to advocate for the values that matter most to Americans like you. Small government, strong borders, election integrity, and protecting your constitutional rights. Becoming an AMAC member gives you access to free advice on Social Security and Medicare, ensuring you get the help you need when you need it most. As an AMAC member, you stay informed with trusted news through AMAC's Newsline, the Better for America podcast, and your subscription to the award-winning AMAC magazine. Plus, members enjoy exclusive money-saving discounts on travel, hotels, insurance, restaurants, and so much more. For a limited time, join AMAC and receive all these benefits for just $1 for your first year. Normally $16. You can take advantage of all these benefits and help save America for only $1. Join today. Visit amac.us/studio6b, amac.us/studio6b, or you can call 1-888-262-2006, 1-888-262-2006. That's amac.us/studio6b, or call 1-888-262-2006. Well, you know, tariffs have thrown the global economy into chaos. Potential widespread inflation tied to massive supply chain disruptions is weighing heavily on all of us. But there is a silver lining that some people may have missed, and that was, of course, that President Trump specifically exempted gold and silver bullion from these sweeping tariffs. While these new policies are triggering significant financial chaos, the administration preserved your ability to diversify your savings into precious metals. So if you're concerned about your savings, I encourage you all to have a free consultation with Birch Gold, and they're one of their precious metal specialists. The first step is to text the word America. Text the word America. Send it to 989898 and receive your free no obligation information kit on gold. Learn how gold and silver in a tax-sheltered account from Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA for no money out of pocket. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Thousands of satisfied customers. Text the word America. Send it to 989898. Again, text the word America to 989898 and claim your free information kit on gold right now. Well, tax day may have passed, but for millions of Americans, the real trouble is just beginning. If you missed the April 15th deadline or you still owe back taxes, the IRS is ramping up enforcement. Every day you wait only makes things worse. With over 5,000 new tax liens filed daily and tools like property seizures, bank levies, and wage garnishments, the IRS is applying pressures at levels we have never seen in years. Increased administrative scrutiny means collections are moving fast. The good news? There's still time for Tax Network USA to help. Self-employed or a business owner, listen up. Even if your books are a mess, Tax Network USA's got you covered. They specialize in cleaning up financial chaos and getting you back on track fast. Even after the deadline, it's not too late to regain control. Your consultation is completely free, and acting now could stop penalties, threatening letters, and surprise levies before they escalate. Call 1-800-905-8000, 1-800-905-8000, or visit tnusa.com, tnusa.com/RAV, R-A-V. You may have missed April 15th, but you haven't run out of options. Let Tax Network USA help before the IRS makes the next move. tnusa.com/RAV. All right, a Friday night at the America First Warehouse. We are live. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. 103.9 LI News Radio. Welcome on in. If you're watching, listening, wherever you're watching, make sure you follow us on our social media as well, at LFS6B. Let's do some news. Rick Delgado's got it. Delgado, what's going on?
A sad story, Damon. Just breaking 12 minutes ago, and it's also on John Solomon's Just the News, among other news sources. One of Jeffrey Epstein's most vocal and prominent accusers, Virginia Giuffre, has died.
Oh, boy.
Wow. How?
Suicide. At the age of 41.
Oh, man.
I smell a rat.
Clinton suicide, or
She just got hit by a bus, too.
She committed suicide yesterday on
Really?
Thursday. The family announced it today. Giuffre's death occurred in Australia, where she had been living with her husband and children since 2019, NBC News reported. Guthrie herself was an American. It was with utterly broken hearts that we announced that Virginia has passed away last night at her farm in Western Australia. Her family said in a statement to NBC, she lost her life to suicide after being a lifelong victim of sexual abuse and sex trafficking. Pam Bondi. Virginia was a fierce warrior in the fight against sexual abuse and sex trafficking. She was the light that lifted so many survivors. The statement said in the end, the toll of abuse was so heavy that it became unbearable for Virginia to handle its weight. No further details are immediately available right now, according to this article. So
It's terrible.
just a downer of a story. I know. Didn't want to have to read that, but it was brought to my attention by one of our rant people, Susie Platinum.
Well, people don't really fully appreciate what Epstein really did to people.
No.
And the victims and what their lives must have been like since then. I mean, it's terrible when someone feels that low to take their own life, and, you know, there's so much to live for, even when things don't seem like they're going your way. But this guy and the venom that he spewed in wrecking so many people's lives, forget about all the politicians and all that nonsense. I mean, they're just takers. But
Why isn't Les Wexner in jail?
Yeah.
I mean, he was right-hand man, financed so much of this. He's been nailed 100 ways till Tuesday. Oh, that's right, because there's 3 tiers of justice. Billionaires are not even remotely connected to it. It's astounding to me. And you look back at Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's father, who was a media mogul and was a known pedophile and purveyor of children. And this goes back so far into the depths of politics in England. Meanwhile, he gets the greatest send-off in Israel. How's that possible? They canonize Ghislaine's father, and this stuff runs so deep, guys. It's sickening. That
Yeah.
my first reaction is, she said too much, and that's why, I mean, obviously I don't know anything, but that's a story that I would love to get more information on before I say, oh, wow, she just killed herself.
Right.
Everybody who speaks out somehow comes up with,
The worst part about it is, again, the people that did this, we know of one or two of them. One, Prince Andrew, and what was his punishment? He's no longer considered a royal. Oh, well, big whoop.
Yeah.
All the others are enjoying their lives of luxury and of wealth and privilege, and none of them that committed the actual crimes are actually in jail. That's the messed up part.
Yep.
They got to release that stuff. I'm not considered a royal either anymore. So that's
updated list every night. What do we have on there?
Yeah, we have nothing.
Nothing.
And there's such a small number of people who know where the bodies are buried, so to speak. And now there's one less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are the videos? All of the tapes, where are they?
Yeah. So, sad news. There's your Epstein update. Unfortunately, it's a sad one. Yeah, so we'll see what happens if anything else comes of this.
Just terrible.
It's just a terrible thing. Like we were talking about earlier, in terms of what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, as I mentioned, the Kiev mayor of Ukraine said they're going to have to sacrifice land. One of the scenarios, he says, is to give up territory. It's not fair, but for peace, temporary peace, maybe it can be a solution, a temporary one at least. Klitschko is his name, Vitaly Klitschko.
That's the heavyweight fighter.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at his face. I'm like, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah.
But, all Russians look alike, I guess. His comments
said that.
come after a missile attack on Kiev. What? I was making a joke. That killed 12 people and injured 80 and appears to run counter to the Ukrainian president saying that any peace deal would not include allowing Russia to keep any of Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula, which it seized in 2014.
You just killed Eddie in here, too.
What?
All right, live from Studio 6B.
What? Oh, my God. What? The lady lived.
On a Friday night from the America First Warehouse.
Oh, my God.
More KDJ, Paul Nolan, Vinnie Mac, Sports with Slick. Oh, when we come back right after this.
Hey, Rick, I think there's a cottage waiting for you in Siberia.
What?
Vladimir Klitschko's in the chat right now.
You're going to have a roommate.
Cozy room for two.
They're going to push me out of a 10-story window?
Where does this guy Delgado live?
Valerie Klitschko's going to go over there and bang his head.
Harry, if I see red, it's on, right?
What? The lady lived. I don't get the problem.
Look at Joe. That flag and all, man. Looking good, buddy.
Feeling good, Slick.
Looking good. Feeling good. You're
feeling good.
Yeah.
Billy Ray.
Sleeping
Check
good.
one. Who put the cools out on the rug?
All right, let's go. Let's get over to Rumble. All right, let me see what we got here. YouTubes. Okay.
I forgot that Klitschko was the mayor of...
Ruby Ivy loves Joe's flag in the chat. Loving Joe's flag.
That's the way to go.
Thank you.
You wearing a belt? Wow.
My wife does.
Yeah, someone's talking about Robert Maxwell. He created that big media empire, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing what he's gotten away with.
Didn't Epstein have like a media empire too?
No.
He had nothing.
He had nothing.
He was
had
a
nothing. He had
financier.
And he was not even a successful financier. He was just thrust into this role.
Where did he just
milked
money to
Ivy
have an
League
island?
schools. Right?
How do you buy an island?
He milked the
Wexner.
Ivy League schools. He was milking them.
Yeah.
Les Wexner gave him like $1 billion. Some outrageous. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but
Stupid money.
it was outrageous amounts of money.
Wow.
Have a
For some
party-
reason,
have
I
a
thought
party.
he did some stuff and made some money, but
There's a book called One Nation Under Blackmail by Whitney Webb. If you really want to know what's going on with this, the depth of it, peruse through that book.
wow. Child trafficking, stuff like that. Yeah.
everything, and how far back it goes.
Sick. You think that's the first thing we'd be going after is cutting that?
Because we've said it a million times. I've said it a million times this show. The best currency in politics is blackmail. It never stops giving.
Yeah, it's a gift that keeps giving. Mrs. B, member for 2 months. All right, what else we got?
Yeah, baby. Live from the America First Warehouse. You're watching live from Studio 6B. This is our soft opening. Next week, the big opening. The place is going to be packed. A couple tickets left. Check it out. Go to the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com. First, let's talk to the man, the legend who made it all possible, Joe the Box. The most patriotic man. Joe.
Thanks, Mom.
Joe, why is Donald Trump the greatest president we're ever going to see in this nation?
Listen, he is here for we the people, the American people. That's what makes him the greatest. The other ones don't care. It's about America, and plus he's God, country first.
Absolutely. God and country first. Joe, if someone drives a Tesla here, it'll be safe in your parking lot, right?
You better believe it. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of buying a Tesla myself, but mine's going to be red, white, and blue, my favorite colors. Can Elon make me one like that?
I've got this bumper sticker that says my other car is a Tesla. I got to get that off my Subaru because the lesbians are just going to hate me. Folks, Joe, what's it going to be like here 1 week from tonight?
Next week is going to be one of the most exciting places to be here on Long Island. If you love America first, you love God and your family, you'll be here for Studio 6B Live. We're only letting a couple of hundred in. Then we're going to be cutting it loose. So get your tickets now, the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com. God bless you. Real America Voice.
Yeah, baby. Joe the Box, God bless you, my friend.
Thank you, Bubby. Thank you.
All right, KDJ, Joe the Box, there he is, Joe the Box. Very good, KDJ, very nice. Very nice. In all seriousness, when
he seemed very shy.
Yeah.
We got to loosen Joe up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Get him out of
He's
his
camera shy. No doubt.
Hang a poster or something, will you, please?
Get him out of his
Most
show.
people, crumble like that first time on camera.
Yeah, you get nervous.
Yeah.
Could tell he was really sweating.
But I mean, to be serious, and people who are here next week, and listen, I think it's going to take some time to get this all worked out. We're making huge strides every show we do. But Joe the Box, his team, Martin, and everybody here, when we came here with this crazy idea, I mean, we've basically asked them to change almost everything that they were doing, and they've been more than willing to do it to try to make this the best they can. They have done amazing work. They have been thoughtful, welcoming, just so generous.
Harumph.
So many things to try to make next Friday night happen. They're in it with both feet, just like everybody on this stage is. Everybody is, to make this not only informative, but a lot of fun. I think that's what it's going to be next Friday night. So again, to Joe, his team, to Martin, to everybody here, it has been great to work with them. We look forward to next Friday night. We hope you enjoy it. If you're here, we hope you have a great experience in the house. We're trying to think of both audiences, here in the house, you at home, what you see on the screen. It's been a lot of work. They've done amazing, amazing. And I think next week, Friday, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So, all right, KDJ's here. He's got a big fundraiser somewhere in Pennsylvania on Saturday night, 7:30 p.m.
Muncie Valley.
Muncie Valley. Thank you, Slick. Slick's got it. Well, I just have total block on it.
Yeah, can't go below over here.
KDJ, what else is going on in your neck of the woods, neck of the news?
Whoa, a lot of fun stuff. Look at this. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Montgomery County.
Oh, not
Maryland.
another one.
Are you playing there too?
No.
No, not that firehouse.
So, folks, Montgomery County, Maryland, they became a sanctuary county, and 2.5 months later, they had already arrested 8 rapists, sexual assaulters, what have you, in the first 2.5 months, and they still haven't learned. Look at this. This is from a college student who says she can't graduate because she refused to take what they described as an LGBT FBI affirming class.
I threw the FBI in bed because I'm cranky.
Is this your broadcaster's voice, by the way?
This is my broadcaster's voice. This is my very serious. Kevin Downey II here with a very serious broadcasting voice. I can't stand the FBI. Back to you, Damon. No, I got more. Hold on. So they won't let her graduate. They won't let this Christian girl, doesn't want to use her name. She goes by Jane. Her GPA is 4.76, which...
What?
Yeah, I know. If you added my GPA 5 times, it still wouldn't be 4. You can get extra GPA points by doing extra things, and so they're saying nope. You cannot graduate, young lady, until you take the LGBTQIA class. Don't like them either. And, but yeah, they're holding her back. A young woman named Jane, and the mayor even came out and said, nope. You take this class or you don't graduate.
Wow. If you didn't take like English or phys ed, they'd still graduate you.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they push through kids who can't even read.
I was just going to say, in Baltimore, they can't read. Here you have to.
This is where they draw the line.
I don't even know what LGBT FBI affirming class is. Maybe she's going to be a gynecologist. Imagine that. Sorry, ma'am, you have testicular cancer. I don't know what to tell you.
And these are stirrups, and you have, every class, everybody go.
Now, my question is, does she have to pass the class or just take it?
Since it is Maryland, probably just take it.
All right, so can she take it online?
It's Maryland.
She doesn't want to. Now it's a thing. Now it's a. Look at this. Look at this. Her what do you call her? SAT 1450.
Dang,
That's the 96th percentile right there. And so here's the drill. In Maryland, well, if you can't read, you can graduate. But if you don't talk about the chicks with the wieners or whatever, then you don't get to graduate. And back you go. They're going to flunk her.
Yeah. Chicks with wieners.
I think my SAT, the first time I took it, I got like 780, and then I took the SAT prep course.
Yes,
and I came back with a 720.
Yeah. Very good.
So,
very good.
Yeah. Well, that's in Maryland. You said, KDJ?
Yeah, that's Montgomery County.
Yeah. We could ask the representatives of Maryland what they think of this, but they're too busy down in El Salvador.
They're in El Salvador.
Yeah, so we can't ask them. Anything else, KDJ, right now?
Yeah, check this out. So there's a salad dodger who's he's running. He's the governor of Illinois. His name's Pritzker.
Yeah.
Ever see that guy?
He is a salad dodger. Yeah.
That
He
guy
hasn't walked past a salad bar that he's liked in a long time.
He dodges.
He would have liked dinner here tonight, boy.
He needs to be tossed.
It's lettuce. Look out! Everybody hide.
Yeah.
Well, he's decided he's going to fight back. He's going to fight back. So he's announcing a statewide boycott of El Salvador. Why? Because they're locking up criminals. And man, do these pinko Democrats hate that. They just hate it. So folks, if you're looking for fentanyl-laced avocados, we're going to go to Guatemala. We'll show them.
That's it.
We'll show them. We're going to boycott El Salvador. There you go. Look at this.
So good.
This is Pritzker. He goes, this is Pritzker, Jabba the governor. Pritzker. He goes, the United States Constitution guarantees due process. Not to illegal immigrants. We are witnessing Donald Trump eroding fundamental Constitution rights in real time. You're lying. And we must restore the balance of power. Shut up, Chubber. Says that we're not going to stand up. Nothing. We're boycotting the entire country of El Salvador.
Yeah. Salad dodger is my new favorite term.
Salad dodger.
Crying. I'm laughing so hard. Crying.
Holy cow.
Well, I mean, if you're in some place in Pennsylvania Saturday night,
Muncie Valley.
Come
on down, Big D.
This is what you can expect. So get down there to Muncie Valley to the fire department Saturday night
There you go.
7:30.
Get fired up.
Even salad dodgers are welcome.
Oh, man.
That's it.
Oh, that was
All right, KDJ, very
Watch
good.
your croutons.
We'll try to get a little more. KDJ.
That
Vinnie
was
Mac.
priceless. That was priceless.
Vinnie Mac is here as well. What other news has caught your attention?
Yeah, I
Any
can't
salad dodgers in your life?
I can't. No
me
salad
toss it to you.
dodgers. I can't believe what I'm reading because I'm looking at something I prepared to talk about tonight. I just can't even believe it, even when I'm reading it now, because I thought that you had to be an American citizen to vote in this country. Isn't that a law?
You silly goose.
Well, I mean, Vin, come on.
No, there's a law.
Don't get so technical on us here.
So Trump decides the law is not strong enough, so I'm going to put through an executive order.
Yeah.
Making sure you have to be an American citizen to vote in this country. And a liberal judge just sided with the plaintiffs here that argued that hurts the Democratic Party. And they said yes. It's some of the stuff we were talking about before. These things defy such logic and such common sense, yet these judges are making rulings that this isn't going to stick. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. The Supreme Court, even as biased as they've become, should overrule this, but this will delay.
You said the key word there, though.
Well, yeah,
Should.
They should overrule it. But what this does, like everything else they're doing, is just delay this thing. So more elections can happen with I guess, people who aren't citizens. It just goes back to the whole argument. And I remember when this was happening, when the borders were open, one of my very liberal friends and I were getting into a pretty good argument over this. And he's like, well, why do you think the borders are open? It's just to help these people. I'm like, no, it's not. It's for votes. It's to help with the redistricting. That's what this is about. And then a judge literally confirms this piece of it. So that's on my mind. And then I don't know if you read this thing, and we saw Joe with the flag, which is, awesome. We love the patriotism here. This is how, we're all patriots. We love our country. We want to be able to express our patriotism too. Like, why can't you have a flag, out in what you're doing? And the Camping World CEO has been, shut down.
Marcus Lemonis.
Because he has his American flag outside, and he's been shut down. I feel like it's Bizarro World. You remember Seinfeld? The whole Bizarro World thing is upside down, and they're shutting down people who are being patriotic to the country they live in. He's closing the store because of it.
Because he said, go screw. If you don't like the flag, I'm closing the store and taking it with me.
Just the mere fact that this guy has to be in that position.
And he's pretty left, I believe. Politics.
He's just a patriot.
Yeah.
You don't have to be conservative, Republican, or Democrat to be a patriot. You just be an American.
Yeah.
That's part of being an American. We're patriots. And this poor guy, though, to have your business cratered because of it. These are the things that are getting my attention. Because
I don't think he's too worried about where the next meal's coming from. But
well, maybe he's a salad dodger himself. But it still is the point where we're seeing the decay of just normal things that we've grown up with, which is why I kind of go back to we need at least 8 years to get a lot of this stuff fixed. We need to not only have the House and Senate, we have to own the House and Senate to get stuff done. We need to eliminate judges. There's so much to do, because when you see things like this, you realize who's in control. The inmates are running the asylum right now.
Well,
just look at Tesla.
Yeah. We said it last night. We said at some point, either Congress has to get off their ass and do something, or President Trump is going to have to start using some power, whether it's the power of his veto to start pressuring Mike Johnson and pressuring these guys, because the judge thing is only going to intensify. It is not going to simply go away. And you cannot rely on the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who's more worried about how he's perceived at the parties and at the steakhouses and all around D.C. than they are about actually getting on clearly, because where are they? You're going to get a choice few things here and there. But if you're relying on them to save you from everything that should be a human right, or things that were never meant to be a human right, you forget it. It's not happening. You can see where we are.
Yeah, my premise all along has been defy the federal court orders, force the Supreme Court to act. And people were a little upset about that because, you got to follow the rule of law, right? But these judges are so biased. So defy it and make the Supreme Court rule, thinking
he almost has to.
But the Supreme Court is, I hate to say it, they're in the bag with the left and salad dodgers.
All right, we'll wrap it up for a Friday. Paul Nolan with the news. We'll try to get to sports and everybody else a little bit as we wrap it up for a Friday from the America First Warehouse on a Friday night, live from Studio 6B.
my throat is just sort of that.
That was great.
You sure you just started doing this stuff?
Yeah, he's just the other night.
I can't just. You just
Salad dodger. That is great. What a
Oh my
line.
God, I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
The fentanyl laced avocado. Kidding me?
Just an added twist.
That's so good, man. You killed it.
Thank you.
Do that next week. We got to get a camera on the audience to pick up the laugh.
Hey,
I said next week we got to get a camera on the audience to pick up the laugh. That's how we're going to start.
Yeah, everybody wants to know, when's Kevin coming to their town? When are you coming? Kansas City,
do a fundraiser.
Wichita.
If they're in Muncie Valley, PA, I'll be there in less than 24 hours.
He'll be in Muncie Valley, PA. Where is that near, by the way? Is it near a place I would know?
Okay, are you familiar with PA?
I am.
It's southeast of Williamsport.
Oh, but that's way in.
It's exactly 3.5 hours from Hicksville with no traffic, and of course that means it's going to be 5.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
Yeah. And you know, one of those hours is just going to be going through the South Bronx.
Right. Hey, Dame. Hey, Dame.
Yeah.
Can you play something off of Twitter?
I can try.
Okay. I just added. I just tweeted you something. Tweeted at you. This Representative Wilson.
Easier if you just.
Easier if I what?
Is that the lady with the cowboy hat?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I got it here.
You got it?
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
She's awesome.
Okay. You listen to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just yammering on about,
All right. Well, let me do Paul.
Yeah.
We'll do news with Paul. Then I'll come to you, and then you can call for this from here.
Yep.
And then we'll do sports, and then it's probably going to be time.
You see, Trump had another big truth just came out.
What is it?
Just he's suing Perkins Coie.
Oh, yeah. Good.
I was thinking about doing that. If you guys wanted to talk about that.
You were thinking about suing Perkins Coie?
Yeah.
You should sue them.
I got a beef.
Citizen's arrest.
Well, I got a cut to go with that if you want it. Cut 7.
All right, cool.
It's good.
Mike Davis.
From Studio 6B, they're fired up. Joe the Box there waving that red, white, and blue. There he goes. At the America First Warehouse on a Friday night, live from Studio 6B. And of course, we're looking forward to having you here next week and every Friday moving after that. Vinnie Max here, Slick Rick Delgado, Kevin Downey Jr., there, Aaron and Fran holding it down. The gang is all here. Let's do some news here. We'll try to get to as much as we can here in the last segment. Paul Nolan, kick us off. What's going on?
Well, Donald Trump with a Truth Social here reposted on X. I am suing the law firm of Perkins Coie for their egregious and unlawful acts, in particular the conduct of a specific member of this firm, only to find out the judge assigned to the case is Beryl Howell, an appointment of Obama and highly biased and unfair disaster. She ruled against me in the past in a shocking display of sick judicial temperament on a case that ended up working out very well for me. On appeal, her ruling was so pathologically bad, it became the talk of the town. I could have a 100% perfect case, and she would angrily rule against me. It's called Trump derangement syndrome, and she got a bad case of it. To put it nicely, Beryl Howell is an unmitigated train wreck, no justice. So I know my man Rick D, you got a clip of this?
Yeah, this is Mike Davis talking, giving people warning about working with Perkins Coie. Here it is, cut number 7. Check this out.
It sounds like the president's going to sue Perkins Coie personally. And I would say this to Perkins Coie's clients like Boeing, Boeing that still hasn't delivered Air Force One planes after President Trump ordered them in his first term. They were supposed to be delivered by now, and Perkins Coie is Boeing's lead outside law firm. I think Perkins Coie's 30% of its revenue comes from Boeing. I would say to clients like Boeing, you might want to find new law firms because Perkins Coie is not the law firm you want to use with the Trump administration. That's just my uneducated guess as the outsider, as the viceroy.
Nicely done. Yeah, it's good stuff right there. I'm just glad we're seeing a little reverse lawfare here because the attacks have been outrageous. I mean, you just got to, just fight fire with fire.
We have to have it. Yeah. We have to have these fights, and we need people arrested, and Trump's doing the right things.
Yep, without a doubt.
All right, very good. Thanks, Paul. Rick Delgado, what else you got?
All right. Well, I don't know if you saw this, Damon. Democrats in Florida, we know they're going crazy. Well, this one in particular, dressed for the occasion. Her name is Representative Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. She's a Democrat out of Florida.
Yeah.
And, of course, she's all in. She's all in for immigration, illegal immigrants, and she stood up herself. She dressed for the occasion. You'll see it herself as she implored other Floridians to get on board. I call her the off-brand Maxine Waters. You make the decision for yourself. Check it out.
Well, some may say this looks like a big deal.
I've been giving out the phone numbers to the House of Representatives and to the Senate. It's one number. That number you call and you threaten them.
What a shot.
Threaten
and
them.
you
Threaten
say,
them.
this is wrong. This is not America. This is not what we stand for. We need a change. You have to do that. It's going to take the people. I've talked myself.
Trucker.
Aaron.
Oh, Big D.
Bob Boom.
Aaron.
She needs to get the blow up.
There you go.
When I'm picking up roadkill for dinner, I want you to know who get in that face.
I mean, who on her staff picks that location?
Oh, my
And you know
God.
what? No, but Slick's got it though. Who set up that shot?
That shot is unbelievable, right?
Harry on the
my
highway,
God.
maybe, huh?
Oh, Harry.
It looks like a Harry Spencer from about a half mile away. Don't worry, I got a zoom lens.
Hold on, Harry's got the covered. Come on, Harry.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was beautiful.
The Democratic Congresswoman in between traffic was asking Floridians to make threatening phone calls, and she's trying to lead an uprising with those trees.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Oh, yeah, she's leading the...
Very menacing.
Frederica Wilson.
Hobby dress.
Oh, my God.
Frederica Bimmel.
Live
bad,
from 95. Can I get my speech here?
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
So there you have it.
I kind of like the cowboy hat, so I like it.
It's a good look.
You look good.
So. All right, Delgado, give me something else in the news here, and we'll do some sports to wrap it up.
I don't know. That one was pretty good.
All right, let's go to sports.
Leave
on a high note.
I'm following that one.
Slick's got sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
71 picks in the NFL draft, and guess who's still hanging around in the green room? That's
Now
unbelievable.
it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It could be an undrafted free agent. Who knows by the end of the week?
How much you spent on your undrafted room?
Unbelievable. That is the story right now in the NFL, but unbelievable.
Pretty crazy.
So to the NHL playoffs, good one. Big fight there in Montreal. Canadians 5-3 over the Capitals, 4 to go there in the third. It was a brawl there in the second period. Washington leads that series 2-0. Canadians need to get on the board with a win. Looks like they're going to get that one. We'll see. 2-goal dreaded lead there with 4 minutes to go. Devils blanking the Hurricanes 1-0, end of 2. Again, another team needs a win tonight in Jersey. The Devils. Kings taking on the Oilers. Puck drop in about 10 minutes. We got the NBA action. To the hardwood we go. Good one here. Magic 95-91 over Boston. 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Game 3. And again, Magic need that win because that series is already Boston up 2-0 there. 3-0, and nobody's ever come back to win that in the NBA playoffs, trailing 3-0. Bucks 77-71 over the Pacers. 3:42 to go there in the third. And again, Indiana leading that series 2-0. So Bucks are in a more or less do-or-die situation there. Lakers and Timberwolves. That's a 9:53 tip-off out in that'll be in Minnesota. And then we have the that's it. NFL draft. I just gave you that. 72 picks in, and still Sanders is sitting on the sideline.
Slick, maybe he could just think tonight that Tom Brady was the last pick and Joe Montana fell to the third round. So,
That's true. I'll tell you a real story right now. Has anybody been following those New York Mets? Boy, they are hot. 12-1 at home this year, and they just continue to really surprise everybody. Right now, though, they just lost to the Nationals 5-4. So they had to win a loss there, but unfortunately, what are you going to do? But Mets are playing good ball. At first place, 18 wins. Most wins in Major League Baseball right now. So pretty good deal there. Big D. And just one quick story about the White House here. Jalen Hurts' mom on plans to visit White House for Eagles Super Bowl celebration. That would be Super Bowl champion winning quarterback Jalen Hurts. Obviously, President Trump rescinded the Eagles' White House visit back in 2018. The Eagles accepted President Donald Trump's invitation last month to the White House in honor of their victory over the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 59. But star quarterback Jalen Hurts may be questionable for the big day. Appearing on the red carpet for the 2025 Time Lib 100 Gala in New York City on Thursday night, Hurts was asked whether he planned on visiting the White House for next week's official celebration on April 28th. Hurts said. Before looking around, he never answered the question as the interviewer thanked him for his time. So we're going to see about that. That's very interesting that he just said, he didn't want to say it. Because obviously amongst some very liberal crowd there, we know with that event, certainly the Time 100, Lib City.
Yeah.
But wow, so unbelievable. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, it's looking very good. The other thing in sports, I don't know, did you see Shannon Sharp said he's going to leave ESPN?
Yes, I did. I didn't get to that story.
And he thinks he's going to come back in the NFL season.
Preseason,
but I tell you, I don't know about that. There's a report out tonight that another production assistant from FS1 this time claims that Sharp strangled her inside the FS1 building.
What is that frowned upon?
I think, I think.
Last I heard,
Boy, your ratings are going right up.
I think HR usually doesn't like reports like that. That's usually what happens.
That's a lot of reports about this guy.
They get choked up when they see stuff like that.
It's getting.
But
that's crazy.
You had to go there, huh?
I had to.
It is getting ugly.
Right within my grasp.
Podcast ever too, like. Didn't he have one of the highest rated podcasts?
He was going to get a $100 million contract he was getting ready to sign.
Yeah.
Huge.
With Skip Bayless at FS1. I mean, they had Jason Whitlock at the time. They had a bunch of hot shows over
Skip's
there.
hiding under his couch now.
Well, as always, I want to thank everybody here at the America First Warehouse. I want to thank all the guys on the show. And, man, we are looking forward to next Friday night as we welcome you to Live from Studio 6B audience right here to the America First Warehouse, 8 p.m. on a Friday. For now, as always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines. Thanks, everybody on the show. Aaron Frank, great job as always. I want to thank all the crew here at the America First Warehouse as well. Harry on the highway and everybody. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday night back in the studio, 8 p.m. live from Studio 6B.